Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Matt with Green Bar Trading here. I want to go over some technical analysis. So that's one way as traders, you can kind of see where the market is going, right? Using technical analysis, using indicators. So what I like a lot are trend lines, all right? Outside of the trend lines, this is the daily chart. I have the 20 EMA. This is really good when a market is in momentum, because it shows when it pulls back to around that 20, if the market is strong, right? If we're in an uptrend, it will usually bounce along that line as the RSI and everything gets overbought. All right. It's just showing a very strong market. Anytime you're over that 20 EMA and you have your pullbacks, because pullbacks are normal, you can't just go straight up. There's got to be those waves, right? Those pullbacks. So you can see here, the pullbacks happen and you get that support at the 20. This happened last year also. During the year, back into the summer months, you saw pullbacks all along the 20 EMA before it breaks the 20, right? And then has some trouble, all right? And so now we're back over that. And I have the 50 moving average here and the 200 right here in orange. All right, so when do I find a trend line useful? You guys can see here, I'm just gonna make this a little bigger for you. You can see on my screen here, this is the past year for the NASDAQ market. This is the QQQ ETF used to track the NASDAQ. This trend line, you can see, has a touch here, a touch here, and a touch here. For a trend line to be really accurate, I find that it has to have at least 3 touches where you see some kind of big response off of. And that's what we've seen here these past 3 times, right? You see those nice moves after it hits the trend line. Goes up, the market goes up in the summer of 2023, pulls back to that trend line, and then bounces and makes even higher highs. But before we got there, we saw this. This is another trend line. All right. Making it a little bit bigger for you guys. This happened during, going into the fall. And if we duplicate this, you can see here that this was actually setting up a pretty decent bull flag on the daily. It's a long bull flag, but this is what happens. So once it breaks trend and we start to break down, and now we're making lower highs, right? So you have your high here, now you have a lower high. You have a low here, now you have a lower low, right? You have a lower high, then back here, and then another lower low, and so on. Got that bounce right here off of the trend line. This would have been a nice area to get long, multiple confluences, right? So you're in this channel, you have that as one of your reasons to get long. And then you also have that major trend line for the year to potentially get long. So this was a good opportunity here to have gotten long the market. And that's back in the start of November of 2023. All right. See that we make a higher high here. And now we're up into that continued uptrend that we saw last year. All right. That stemmed from November, December. Had the pullback to start the year, and then this year has been very nice. We saw the bounce here off the 20 EMA again, another one back here, went under it here, but then saw a nice bounce there. It's not always a perfect science, but that's just what we saw. So if we're going to look at this again, another trend line that is developing right now is going to be this one here. All right, so making this a little bit bigger for you guys. Once again, now you can see another trend line. Now, for the year, this is a more normal trend, right? Something that looks like this, and even that was a very good year. Now, things have gotten really, really overbought in the market. You can see that we have used another trend line, although this trend line is now basically from the bottom left to the upper right part of the screen. That's a pretty steep trend line. We have seen those bounces though, right? Like I said, we want to see at least 3 times where we see a nice bounce and starts here, right? Then you have a bounce here, and then that other bounce right there, and then a big response here. All right, so that's a good trend, but like I said, it's getting too steep now at this point. But this is the way that I look at technical analysis. So if you're trying to formulate a trading plan, try to draw some of these lines in, because the market is hard enough to understand or predict. Nobody can predict the market, but you can use technical analysis and some indicators to help you along the way. So I hope that this video was useful for you guys, and please hit the thumbs up. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.